Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make these cute flowers that I found last week, and what you use to make them is little tag frames. So in what I was looking at, they used two punches that were different sizes and then punched the small one out and then punched a bigger one out around it so that they got a little frame. I didn't have any tag punches, so I went to my Cricut cartridges in my design studio and I put two of the blackout version. I used the blackout because it had a little hole for the tag, and so I used the blackout so that wouldn't be there, and I put one inside the other so that it would cut out each tag, and then I was left with the frame. So then I have all these little extra tags left over for other projects, so that's fantastic, so you don't waste any paper that way. So there's no exact science to this, but what you need to do is figure out how many you need. So on this little one here, I used 8, so I used 4 for each layer, and it just sort of made my flower turn out a little bit wonky because I actually needed 6 for each layer. And it all depends on what the angle of this is. If you have a 45-degree angle, then you only need the 4. But with this one, it had less than a 45-degree angle, so I needed 6 to make it go all the way around and keep these connected here. So you'll see a little bit better when I start doing it. And I made a few different versions here. They're really quite cute, actually. So I am going to show you another thing today. I'm going to show you, for those of you who don't know and don't use the Xyron Create-A stickers, I'm going to show you how they work because they're super neat and it made this project super easy to do. So this is the 1.5-inch Create-A sticker, or the Model 150. There's also a larger version, which this is the Model 500, so it's 5 inches across here, and there's also one in the middle, which is 2.5. So I ran most of my tags through the 5-inch one, but I'm going to run these last two through my 1.5-inch one so you can see, because it's a little smaller, so it's easier to see on screen. So there's an opening on the top on this side, and there's an opening down here at the bottom of the X as well. So what you're going to do is you just take your piece that you want to make a sticker, and you're going to put it face up so that the sticky side that you want sticky is down, and you're just going to stick it right in the slot here till it catches on the thing. You'll feel how far it's supposed to go. Turn it around, and then you pull the paper out, and there is your tag. Okay? So let's do that one more time. We're going to stick it in here, turn it around, pull it through, and rip it off. Perfect. So these machines are especially great when you're cutting out letters on the Cricut, and I'm sure you've all tried to put liquid glue on the back of your letters and how painful that can be sometimes. This makes it so easy because it just puts the stickiness and makes your letters right into stickers. So with this one, you need to give it a good rub so that all the excess glue, because the glue is everywhere, we want all that excess glue to go on the top layer. So we're going to give it a good rub, and we're going to pull this layer of film that's over top of it. And I tend to go like this when I do it, so it pulls any excess that it didn't get when I rubbed it right off. And now you've got a sticker on your sticker sheet. So when I pull that off, the stickiness is going to be on the back and ready to go. And you just stick it down and go. And it's really good adhesive. It works really well. So I haven't had any problem with them falling off. So it's fantastic. So I'm just going to rub that one down. Pull this off. And you're good to go. And so you'll see how slick that is when I start pulling them off to put on my paper. So now I've got 12 of these sticker tag frames ready to go. I need my background piece, which is approximately 6 inches wide, is about how I found was the best width to do. So you can see that this is going to go across here. So the more even that you get this as you go, the more even your petals are going to be. So you can see here I have these 4 petals right here that are a little bit longer because it was a little bit off. So I got smarter when I got to this one, and I'll show you some quick tips. that I did. Okay, so we're going to start with one of our tag frames. We're going to pull it off our sticker sheet, and I know you probably can't see, but oh, you might be able to see some of the shininess of the adhesive on the back. And we're just going to stick it right down sort of in the center of our sheet, and I'm going to line it up with the edge of my paper because that's going to keep my edge straight, and it's going to help me to be able to line those up a little bit easier. Oh my goodness, people, this is funny. I put it on upside down. Let's try this again. We want the flat edge at the bottom. Okay. Perfect. Now, we're going to take, how I found it easiest to do, because I had 6 to go around, I found that doing the 2 side ones at the same time was the easiest way to do it. So, if you only had 4, it would be easy to just line the next one up and the next one up. This one, I'm going to put my ruler down here and line it up against where this point is here, so that I know that that point is going to be where my other one is on the other end. I'll show you what I mean here. So I'm going to pull 2 of these off, and I'm going to sort of line them up. This is going to be difficult with the camera here. I'm going to line them up so that the 2 slants are together, and we're going to place them so that they're together and all 3 of them are at the same time, and then I can tell how far away it is from my ruler so that I know that I'm going to be able to put the other one down straight there. So I'm going to stick those 2 down, and now I can move my ruler down here a little bit and figure out where I need the edge. This edge here, I want that edge to be at the same spot up here when I do it, so that these ones are perfectly straight across from each other, and then the rest of them will all come together. So let's pull this down a little bit further now so you can see. So again, I'm going to put my 2 sides together, and then in order to get it straight, maybe I'll put it on this side actually, and make sure that it's as close as I can get to keep it symmetrical, because it's all about the symmetry on this one. Perfect. There you go. And now I can just take my final 2, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to do 2 of them at the same time so that I can line them up and get them at the right angle so that I can see that all 4 of them are all lined up on the edges beside each other. Stick that down. Now, with these sticker makers, sometimes you're going to see that the glue sort of creeps out. You probably can't see it on here, but I'm going to take my adhesive eraser and just get rid of some of that extra glue in a few spaces, and it just peels the glue right off. Anywhere that you can see the glue leaking out from the edges. Alright, so now I've got this one done. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit so that I have tags in all these extra empty spaces. And again, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to put one down and get it the center here, as close to the center here, and try and make these look like they're approximately the same size. And then I'm going to do the one opposite it. It's a little bit easier to line these ones up because you've got some sort of a grid there now from the first tags that you did. So I'm going to line my ruler up there. I should turn this around so you can see me doing this a little bit better. There. So I know that I want this edge to go right up against the ruler so that I know that it's straight across, and I want the top to go right in the middle there, and I may have to fiddle with this a little bit to make it the same size petals, because these are going to be your petals in these little areas here, so you want them to be about the same size. Perfect. Alright, and now we're going to add our last 4 the same way. I'm going to line them up in my hands and line them up here so I get them about right. And stick them down. Perfect. And my last two. Tricky little job here. Alright, let's try this, see what I got. That's not bad. Alright, so now that I've got my 12 tags down, you can kind of see from this angle exactly where your flower is going to be. So these are all your petals, and now we're just going to cut out around those with some scissors. And you're just going to cut these pieces out to form your petals. Oh, that's off the camera. I'm going to cut out loosely around here now that I've got that far, so that I can get the rest of this cut. Trying to cut quickly and carefully at the same time is difficult. Alright, so as I cut this out, I'm going to take it off screen and cut it out, and I'm going to put this one here. So on this one here, I actually used vellum as the background, and then I used my very wide 1.5 inch score tape and put it on a piece of very thin cardstock. Actually, I used cardstock that you would use in your printer that you would buy, as opposed to scrapbooking cardstock, so it was a little bit thinner, but it gave the tape weight. And then I cut it out on my Cricut that way, and used my tags with the double-sided tape on the one side, so that I could add the glitter to it afterwards. Now I'm taking some pictures of the steps that I did for that, so I will post them underneath this video to show you. And then also I have a contest up for this week for this Technique Tuesday. I thought it would be neat. So check out the details of that underneath the post. And now I have this done, and now I have this cute little flower. So you could also, if you did two of the same color, you could layer them so that you get more dimension in your flower if you wanted to. Or you can make bigger ones or smaller ones. My tags were, I should have measured those before, 1.5 inches long from the top of the tag to the bottom of the tag, and about 1 inch wide. So that's how big a star you get. You get about a 4-inch flower here if you're using a 1.5 inch by 1 inch tag. So that's what we have for today. So make sure you check out how I did the glitter and the double-sided tape so you can see a little bit better. And also check out the contest. Thanks!